is not what it used to be. You know, when I was 16, when we were 16, we didn't worry about what the world would look like in 10 years, 20 years. But now, if we were 16, we would probably be very worried. Now, at U-Earth, we like to work with metrics. We always bring our measuring stick, and we always measure everything. So I brought out some metrics that left me astonished about UEFA. Now, UEFA has a 5.2 billion global audience. You know how many people there are in this world? Like 7.8 billion people. That means 2/3 are watching football UEFA. And 70% of the fans think that UEFA has a role to play in sustainability. So hey, you know, that's no pressure for Michele. And we'd really love to know what UEFA is actually living up to this expectation.
Thank you. First of all, it's to stay today. It's a pleasure because innovation and sustainability, I think, are absolutely link each other.
Yeah.
And football is part of the sustainability and innovation. For this, I think football, innovation, and sustainability are perfect together, can work perfect together. UEFA has huge numbers. I think that is the biggest platform in the world. Is the audience, as potentially. We have 90 million practicants in Europe. In the school, we have 92 million. For this year, is the second community after the school community. And we decided 1 year ago to renew our strategy, to set the strategy, first of all. It was a 2030 strategy, for this is 10 years long, also to address the message that is a long-term investment, is not short-term. I feel when I starting, because I don't come from sustainability area, I come from other sports area, from clubs, association. I was UEFA vice president for 4 years. But when I started with, when president told me, Michele, we need to do something concrete in sustainability, was for me a challenge, because I was starting to understand what is sustainability first, and second, how we can link sustainability with football. At the end, we worked with a due diligence at the beginning, 6 months to write our strategy. The strategy was Strength Through Unity, was approved in December by the ExCo committee. Is a clear, is an easy strategy. You can find it in our website. It's focused on football. As we mentioned in our discussion before, we cannot save the planet. We cannot change the world. We want to do what football can do in the right way, with clear targets, with clear KPIs, with actions. And now we are in the second phase. We are planning our action plans to reach the targets that are in our strategy, and to check also the KPIs to understand where we are. Of course, I will later I will explain better about the strategy. But the idea is to set a sort of a strategy that make anticipation. Normally, football react. Something happen and you react. Something happen outside and you react. We need to drive, we need to drive. For this reason, we work on the anticipation mindset, because anticipation is, I think, it's the key to set the best strategy possible.
Absolutely. So a big challenge in innovation, and both in innovation and in sustainability, is gaining visibility. Now, there are many new ideas that never see the light because it's so difficult to cut through the noise and present this innovation to people. Now, I've read that UEFA has a whole bunch, like 361 projects that were brought to the audience by UEFA. And that is key, because actually with all your pillars and all your strategies, bringing innovation to light is something that makes a huge difference with the audience you have. So you have a very key role. So what are the pillars that you actually concentrated on in your strategy? I mean, there's main drivers.
Yeah, I think we will have a video, I think just after in this small introduction, this video that we introduced to our Congress 1 week ago in Vienna on the strategy to our 55 member association. We decided to set two big areas, the environment and the human rights. And then we set 11 policies, the 4 linked to environment, and 7 linked to human rights. We identified these 11 policies, and we set for each policies the topics, the targets, and KPIs. In the environment area, we are working on circular economy, because I think it is strictly linked with our sports model. The second are the infrastructure sustainability. And of course, I'm not talking only about stadia, I talk also training facilities. The third is the event sustainability, because basically UEFA is an event organizer. We have 19 competitions in our portfolio, 19. For this reason, it's for us it's important that each of these events must be set in the same way, with the same environmental parameters, and I will tell you later what we are doing, because there is very interesting system that we are planning. And the fourth is climate and advocacy. Of course, we know that it's millions of fans are traveling to attend the matches. We know that there is an impact now on CO2 emissions. And we need, in this case, we need to understand what we can do concretely, do, and what not. We cannot go to zero, but we can move to plan, to monitoring, to plan the reduction, and then, of course, put in place these activities that can remediate the emission.
But Michele, you have been an athlete yourself. And you know that actually you don't become a champion overnight. You have to work on it, correct? So you set your intention and you go through training. The thing is transparency, though. If you really want to get to your target, you're going to get there. And if you disclose your target to everybody for them to see, then you are committing in front of the world. Now, the drivers to sustainability are really transparency and metrics. Now, we were discussing before that you have identified like 3 phases. Like there's a lot of blah, blah, blah now about all the companies, because they're trying to make promises and actually understand what they can possibly do. The next phase is going to be through engagement and then metrics. So what are you planning to do? What is that track?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, when we say 2030, it's only to send out the message that it is a long-term commitment. We are beginning of our journey, because honestly speaking, at beginning, we work with 18, 19 NGOs. They work for us in many fields, but we was not the driver of the sustainability. Now we are changing the model to manage everything. We are working with this strategy. In the appendix in this strategy, there are the targets. There are very clear targets. There are 57 targets. For this year, officially, we are committing these 57 targets. And of course, the part of KPIs, it's crucial, because I think I come from numbers environment. I think that the numbers and the monitoring to understand if we are going in the right direction or not are the key to create also the matrix to matrix. We are making, sorry if I jump rapidly in another field. For example, for the events, it's ready, and we will test for Women's Euro in England, Women's Euro in July 2022. We are setting this sustainability event management system. Is our internal system, is based on 15 parameters, 12 of them are linked to the environment, 3 of them are linked to the human rights or rights and accessibility and others. We are planning to make a score, internal score, for each parameters, and we will apply this system to all our competitions. When I talk competition, in this moment, in the first phase, I talk about the competition that UEFA manage directly. That means the finals. Because, of course, each match of a Champions League or Europa League or others are managed by the club. And then we will move in the second phase, how we need to engage clubs and leagues in this process, because we cannot act alone. But in this moment, we are making a new system. It's not like ISO. It's something like ISO, but it's totally different, linked to us. And we will apply this system. We will test this system in the Women's Euro. Then we will have the final version of this system. Will be a score. For this year, we will know if our events are committed or not, and where we have to improve our commitment or our action to improve our score. For this year, it's on the way. We will apply to UEFA events at the beginning. In Germany, 2024 will be the focus on this system. And then, of course, we will spread the system to all the clubs, all the national associations, to engage them to use the same system and to harmonize also the way how to have to monitoring the sustainability index in your competition.
That's great, because actually you have to set as an example and put up a standard that everybody will follow. Now, everybody is always asking, where is the return of investment on sustainability? Everybody's like, oh, it's going to cost a lot, nobody's going to understand it, and so it's a kind of a hard job. But it's not really, because the younger generations are looking at their heroes, and they want them to become their superheroes. And once again, football is very granular. Some more statistics. You have 18.5 million players, and you have 1.2 million coaches across member associations. Well, that is a huge asset you have. Now, there's another acronym for return of investment, that is risk of inaction, that you mentioned in your presentation, which I thought it was brilliant. Because what we talk with companies all the time, and what they look at us and say, yeah, but we can do that later, And that is the worst thing you can do. There's no later time. The action is now. So how can you work with all your stakeholders, internal stakeholders, to push this change as a cultural change from inside?
Yes, it's we have a matrix of our, map of our stakeholders. If it's possible, I can show you the video, because in the video there is a part in which we show the engagement with the stakeholders, and then I will come back probably. I don't know if there is someone. Thank you very much. And then I will come back.
Thank you.
Social and environmental issues are increasingly challenging our society and impact the sport we all love. European football must come together to inspire, activate, and accelerate sustainable action as one team, using a common language and a long-term vision. UEFA has developed a sustainability strategy with 11 policies addressing human rights and the environment. These are implemented in 5 areas of action and accelerated by clear targets and measurable KPIs. This approach acts as an example for member associations, leagues, and clubs to develop their own strategies. we invite all football partners to mobilise their communities on this ambitious journey. Because only in unity can the strength of our sport inspire millions to drive positive, sustainable change.
Well,
Only to give in 1 minute and 36 seconds an overview of our last year of engagement. Inspire, activate, accelerate. Of
Great.
course, we need to engage our NAs, first of all, because our members, 55 national associations that are in our that are member of UEFA. Of course, we are very dishomogeneous approach on sustainability because they are coming from Israel to Faroe, from Finland to Andorra. We cover many associations with totally different, also in terms of size. Now San Marino has 45,000 inhabitants, and Germany are more than 2 million practicants. Players for this. It's not easy to create one strategy that can fit for everyone. The first goal of engagement are with the NAs, because we need to create the cascada effort from UEFA, and of course in the 5 areas of action that we mentioned in the video. The first is UEFA internal organization, because if we want to lead, you need to lead by example. We need to apply the best practice in our internal organization, because if we ask to the other to do something, but we are not delivering any results, any commitment, any action in our daily job, we are not credible. This is DNAs. Then DNAs, the second phase will be with the clubs and leagues. We are strongly linked with the ECA. We did a presentation with all the clubs of the ECA to understand, to introduce, and ECA is planning to have one sustainability manager as a fixed position in the organization. They are working group in the organization. For this reason, we are starting. And sometimes the clubs are very committed, because of course there is also the link with the financial aspects, and the ESG are growing also in the financial market. And then the leagues, because the leagues organize the championship. The championship must be sustainability. It must take care of sustainability. Of course, when we talk about human rights, we talk about also accessibility for diversity, football for all abilities. We talk about the football for older people, because it has impact of also on health and well-being. A lot. It's a lot. These 11 policies, now we have a structure in UEFA with 12 persons that working. We started 1 year ago, it was 3. Now we are 12. There is expertise in each policies. We are working in each policies across all the 5 areas of action. It's easy matrix, but in any case challenging.
you're doing it very successfully, though. I'm seeing that you have this award-winning documentary that had 15 million audience. I can't imagine how many views. That's a big challenge, the one of homophobia, racism, sexism, and that can really help. A video can say more than 1,000 words, and those are the kind of sensibilization actions that you want to drive, with actually media, documentaries, and campaigns.
Yeah, this is a clear example of the documentary is Outrage. We won 19 awards in the world. It was very, very interesting. Of course, it's for free on UEFA.tv and our website. It's the first phase where we say where we are, what is the current situation. And we decided also to put a negative message in, coming from testimonial players, coaches, and the other, because I think that we need also to show that we are not perfect. We are on the way. Now we are using the second phase we will be using the outrage, and this is the awareness phase. I think we need to move in three different phases. It's too late? 2 minutes, okay. Shortly. Outrage, we have three phases. For me, in the process, we have three phases. The awareness phase and outrage was an excellent driver. Now we have the engagement phase, where we need to engage our stakeholders. Stakeholders means not only the National Association, clubs and leagues, but also our commercial partners. And there is a huge request from our UEFA commercial partners to come in and to work with us on the sustainability. With Pepsi, we are working on a circular economy project that we will present in the next months on the circular economy. For the commercial partners are engaged. The global institutions are engaged. For this is how we move from the awareness phase to engagement phase and then actions. It's a logical process. But we are putting our passion. We didn't use any external consultant to write our strategy. We use our knowledge, internal knowledge. We use our internal expertise, and we use our passion, because football is linked to passion, and also in sustainability, I think that you need to put on the field your passion and your reason.
I can tell you're putting yourself
2 minutes
in
is
this.
enough. It's okay? Okay.
Yes, thank you, Michele. Thank you for what you're doing, and we're inviting the whole audience to follow up with UEFA, because it's very important for you, each one of you, to take action personally. I mean, this is our responsibility as people, as companies, and as planet, and leave something better to the future generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.